If you're over 60 and waking up stiff, tired, and in pain, it might not be age. Japanese elders discovered something shocking about what happens to your body during sleep. And the fix: 5 movements you do before bed. Not in a gym. Not on a yoga mat. Just in your bedroom in your pajamas. But first, you need to know what's really happening while you sleep, because once you understand this, everything changes. But wait. Before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment "I subscribe" below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Thomas. He's 67. Every morning felt like waking up in a body that wasn't his. His knees creaked like old floorboards. His back screamed when he tried to sit up. His hands felt swollen and clumsy. His doctor said, "That's just aging, Thomas." But here's what his doctor didn't tell him. A 2022 study from the Journal of Sleep Research found that 73% of seniors experience muscle tension buildup during sleep. Not because they're old, but because their fascia freezes in place overnight. What's fascia? It's the thin tissue that wraps around every single muscle in your body. Think of it like plastic wrap. When it's healthy, it's smooth and slippery. But when you don't move, especially for 7 to 8 hours straight, it sticks together like glue. Your body literally locks up while you're unconscious. And every night you don't address it, gets worse, tighter, stiffer, more painful. But in Okinawa, Japan, where people live to 100 with flexible, pain-free bodies, elders do something completely different. Section 1: The Japanese Secret. They don't stretch after waking up. They prepare their bodies before sleep. In Japanese culture, there's a practice called yoru no junbai, which translates to nighttime preparation. It's based on a simple but profound idea. Sleep is when your body heals. But only if you set it up correctly. Think about it. You wouldn't go to bed with your phone at 1% battery and expect it to work in the morning, right? Your body's the same way. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity tracked 340 seniors in Kyoto over 12 weeks. The results: those who practiced gentle bedtime movements had 40% less morning stiffness, 28% better mobility. And, here's the surprising part, they reported sleeping 52 minutes longer per night. Not because they were tired. Because their bodies finally felt safe enough to rest deeply. Imagine waking up and actually wanting to move. Not dreading it. Not wincing. Just moving. So what are these 5 movements? Let's count them down. From simple to life-changing. Section 2: Movement 5. The Wall Angel. Here's the problem most seniors don't realize they have. You're reading this right now, aren't you? Maybe on your phone. Maybe on a tablet. Your head is probably tilted forward. Your shoulders are rounded. Years of sitting, reading, and looking down create what's called forward head posture. And it doesn't just hurt your neck, it compresses the nerves in your shoulders and restricts how deeply you can breathe. At 71, Hiroko couldn't lift her arms above her head without sharp, stabbing pain. Her doctor suggested months of physical therapy. She decided to try something simpler first. Here's what she did, and what you can do tonight. The Wall Angel. Stand with your back flat against a wall. Your heels, butt, shoulders, and head should all be touching the wall. Now raise your arms up slowly, like you're making a snow angel, but keep your elbows and the backs of your hands pressed against the wall the entire time. Go as high as you can without your back arching away from the wall. Hold for 5 seconds. Then slowly lower your arms back down. Repeat this 5 times. What's happening here? You're realigning your shoulder blades and decompressing your thoracic spine, 2 areas that tighten and collapse during sleep. Hiroko said it felt like someone unlocked her shoulders after the first night. By the end of the week, she could reach the top shelf in her kitchen again, something she hadn't done in 2 years. But this is just the beginning. Movement number 4 targets something even more critical, and it's the hidden cause of most lower back pain. Section 3. Movement 5: The Seated Hip Spiral. Let me ask you something. Can you bend down and tie your shoes without holding on to something? If the answer is no, It's probably not your back that's the problem. It's your hips. Tight hips are the #1 hidden cause of lower back pain in seniors. When your hips don't move, your spine has to compensate, and it suffers. A 2021 study from the University of Tokyo found that seniors with hip stiffness had 3 times higher risk of chronic back pain and falls. Ken, 69, couldn't bend down to tie his shoes anymore. He assumed his back was shot. Turns out, his hips were just locked. Here's what saved him. The seated hip spiral. Sit on the edge of your bed. Keep your back straight. Place your right ankle on top of your left knee, like you're crossing your legs, but one foot is resting on the opposite thigh. Now gently press down on your right knee with your right hand. At the same time, lean your chest forward slightly. You should feel a deep, releasing stretch in your right hip and glute. Hold for 10 seconds. Breathe slowly. Switch sides. Repeat twice on each side. Ken described it as feeling like oil being poured into rusty hinges. 2 weeks later, he was gardening again. 3 weeks later, he was on the floor playing with his grandkids, something he thought he'd never do again. But if you only do one movement from this entire list, skip ahead to #1, because it's the most powerful and the most overlooked. But first, let me show you movement #3. This one detoxifies your spine. Section 4. Movement 3. The lying spinal twist. Your spine has 33 vertebrae stacked on top of each other. Between each one, a spongy disc. And those discs, they need hydration. But here's the catch. They only absorb water when you move. Specifically when you twist and rotate. Without movement, they dry out, like a sponge left in the sun. And when that happens, stiffness, nerve pain, sciatica. According to a 2020 study in the Journal of Orthopedic Research, gentle spinal rotation before sleep increased disc hydration by 18% overnight. At 74, Yumi had sciatica so bad she couldn't sleep through the night. The shooting pain down her leg would wake her up at 2 a.m., 4 a.m. every single night. Pain medication barely touched it. Then she tried this. The lying spinal twist. Lie flat on your back. Bend both knees and plant your feet on the bed. Now gently drop both knees to the right side. Let gravity do the work. Don't force it. Extend both arms out to the sides like you're making a T-shape. Turn your head to the left, opposite direction from your knees. Hold for 20 seconds. Breathe deeply. Then slowly bring your knees back to center and drop them to the left side. Turn your head to the right. Repeat 3 times on each side. What you're doing here is wringing out your spine like wringing out a wet towel. Old tension releases. Fresh blood flows in. Your discs rehydrate. Yumi said the pain disappeared after the 3rd night. She thought it was a fluke until it stayed gone. But here's where it gets really interesting. Movement #2 doesn't just help your body. Calms your mind. Section 5. Movement 2. The vagus nerve hum. Stress keeps seniors awake. And poor sleep. It accelerates cognitive decline. A 2023 Harvard Medical School study followed over 2,800 seniors for 10 years. The findings were startling. Seniors who consistently slept less than 6 hours per night had a 30% higher risk of developing dementia. At 68, Akiko's mind raced every single night. She'd lie in bed replaying conversations, worrying about her grandchildren, thinking about bills, health appointments, things she forgot to do. Her body was exhausted, but her brain wouldn't shut off. Then she learned this. The vagus nerve hum. Sit comfortably on the edge of your bed. Feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Fill your belly, not just your chest. Now as you exhale, hum. B. Feel the vibration in your chest, your throat, even your skull. The pitch doesn't matter. Just make it long and steady. Do this 5 times. What's happening here is remarkable. You're stimulating the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body. It runs from your brainstem all the way down to your gut. And it controls your rest and digest system. It's like a dimmer switch for stress. When you hum, the vibration directly activates this nerve. It tells your body, we're safe. We can relax now. Akiko described it as feeling like warm honey spreading through her chest. She slept through the night for the first time in years, after just one try. But the number one movement, so simple most people skip it. And they regret it. Section 6. Movement 1. The ankle pump. Let me ask you this. Do your ankles swell by the end of the day? Do you ever get leg cramps at night? Do your feet feel heavy, tight, or tingly? If you answered yes to any of those, listen closely. Your heart works hard all day to pump blood through your body. But here's the problem: gravity. Blood pools in your legs. And at night, if you don't help your body move that blood back up, you get swelling, cramps, and in severe cases, blood clots. A 2022 study in the Journal of Vascular Medicine found that seniors who activated their calf muscles before bed reduced leg swelling by 34% and improved overall heart function. At 76, Taro's legs swelled so badly every night that his ankles looked like tree trunks. His doctor warned him about circulation issues and the risk of deep vein thrombosis. Taro was terrified, but he tried this movement and everything changed. The ankle pump. Sit on the edge of your bed. Point your toes down toward the floor, like you're pressing a gas pedal. Hold for 2 seconds. Then flex your toes up toward your shin, like you're pulling your foot toward your face. Hold for 2 seconds. Repeat 20 times. Then rotate your ankles in slow circles. 10 times in one direction, 10 times in the other. Within 1 week, Taro's swelling dropped noticeably. Within 3 weeks, he was walking without pain or heaviness. But here's the part doctors rarely explain. This movement doesn't just help your legs. Protects your heart. Your calf muscles are called your second heart because they pump blood back up to your chest. Every time you flex and point, you're giving your heart a helper. It's like having a backup engine. Section 7. The morning after. So what happens when you do all 5? Let's go back to Thomas, the man we met at the beginning. After 2 weeks of doing these movements every night, he woke up one morning and realized something was missing. Pain. The stiffness. The dread of getting out of bed. It was just gone. After a month, he was hiking with his grandkids again. After 3 months, his doctor asked him what he'd changed, because his mobility scores had improved dramatically. Thomas smiled and said, "I stopped fighting my body. I started preparing it. Because here's the truth. These aren't exercises. They're signals. You're telling your body, it's safe to relax. It's safe to heal. It's safe to let go." And your body listens. So here's my question for you. How many years of stiffness and pain have you accepted as just aging, when it might just be a signal you never learned to send? You don't need a gym membership. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need to be flexible or strong. You just need 5 minutes. And the willingness to try. Which movement will you try tonight? Or maybe you already have a bedtime ritual that works for you. If so, share it in the comments below, because your experience could help someone else sleep better tonight. Remember this. Aging is inevitable. Suffering isn't. Asterisk, which of these 5 movements surprised you the most? Let us know below. Asterisk.